Hello, Cancer. Thank you. Greetings for stopping. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, golly. Let us do the next 2 weeks. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You guys got a lot of cross watchers. People are checking up on us Cancerians, just saying. They're very curious about us. We can be really elusive, hard on the outside, just very tasty on the inside. Some of this seeking and cross watching is not the best for us, right? Yeah, we're pretty freaking protected. I'm just saying, if you don't feel protected, you need to grab onto that because you're sticking your head out the window, so don't get hit with a bug, and don't be the bug, right? Let's be the windshield. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Let's figure out what it is that's going to be most helpful to us from the original source, the original one, the original word. Let's figure out what's going to be the most helpful to us because there's a lot of stuff going on about relationships, focus, lack of focus, distractions. Yeah, it feels like there's a really diverse set of emotions and things going on for us Cancerians. And yes, I am Cancer Sun. But that is a very small portion of what I've been blessed with in this particular endeavor. So let's see. Okay, so I am hearing Cucina knife. I've done lots of them, but my thing is that I'm going to have to do it upside down. So I'm going to try and make sense of this. Holy cannoli. Let's just kind of like get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That for me is a little uncomfortable. All right, so put the deck down. Okay, Auric's gonna put the deck down. We're gonna move this over here. And so I don't know if many people know what it is, but it's basically where we look at the present energy and what it is that's going to be helpful. So there's a clarifying card, and then this is like the solidifying who we are and where we're centered. Now I don't know about anybody else, but that's how I do it. Well, look at that. Cancer, we are showing up ourselves as ourselves. We are indeed very, very in tune with ourselves at this point. And what I like about this card, though, is how different it is. And the traditional, you've got the horses, right? They're out in front of the carriage. And it's like we don't even have the horses. We are really on the mark of having a control of our paradigm. And it feels really healthy. It feels really empowering because a lot of times we can be driven into our shell because of what's going on around us or even in the world. And some people might think that that's for me, I don't think of this as a negative card because this just means a sudden and uncomfortable change. So we have been taking charge of the direction in our life, and maybe it made us feel very uncomfortable. But this is extremely dynamic because most of these are major arcanas, right? So this is Johnny on the spot for us that we're doing the right thing, we're on the right path. It made us feel like this is uncomfortable, but we are doing the right thing. So what kind of clarity can we gain? This is about communicating, and it's infinite. So eight to me reminds me of the infinity sign, but this is the Eight of Wands. And what I like about this is that we are learning to more effectively communicate. It's been really uncomfortable for us sometimes because we can be on the emotional side, but we seem to have gained mastery over this at this stage. Wow. Really incredible. Well, actually, Hmm. Victory. This is why it's like we weren't aware of the specifics, but we were aware that we were going to have a victory. We were victorious in the past, but it's like we did all this planning and campaigning and PR, and it's like years. This is years. And it was happening very slowly, but it took that amount of time. We couldn't be aware of it. We weren't aware of this change that we were undergoing. I know this has got nothing to do with this whole traditional stuff, the story of the card and blah blah blah. This is very interpretive right now. And I know with some of the when you do the typical layout for the Kachina knife, it's this card. This is 1, 2, 3 spot, 4 spot, 5 spot. With this is like an outcome, but you can see how I was guided to lay this card here, and it's kind of like, well, this is confusing to me, but it makes sense now that this communication, this revelation of communication, is happening now, and it's happening quickly because we've done the work and the foundational work and celebrated it, acknowledged it. We've already done that, but this is happening now. This whole communication with ourself, and it is uncomfortable. Mm. So this has a lot to do with the emotional foundation of who we are, and this is why, because the cup suit is emotional, right? And Cancer is considered to be highly emotional and sensitive. This is a card of emotional mastery. We are going to realize this very shortly. Can't give a timeline on it. Possibly in the next 2 weeks. We can ask maybe what that is going to look like in a second here. Yeah, it's gonna definitely move us in a direction of safety, love, care, because being very thoughtful. These are thoughts and words, right? And it's taking us out of a realm of insecurity and feeling more secure, even more secure. Yep. And even though the Five of Wands, I feel like that this is no longer will we be battling these little skirmishes, it's like gossip is such a waste. Real gossip is just malicious words, spiteful words that will have zero impact. And it's almost like we have become a polished mirror. And people, when they hurl things at us, we don't have to hear it or even know about it. Those things are going to ricochet off of us and onto those individuals. It's not about, return to sender at all. It's something that we don't have we're not even aware of it. So let's see if we can't get some kind of a timeline on this. I think these are the cards I have here. Yes. Yes, these are the ones. Unfortunately, I don't do upside downy stuff. I don't use these very often, but they seem to be all like a helter skelter at this point. Uh, yeah, I think it might have been just these few. Um, so maybe we can get some kind of a timeline on this. And of course, since this is, you know, a timeless reading, it is going to be relevant to whenever you are able to watch. If you need to watch multiple times, it doesn't necessarily mean that the time will be adjusted because time is an illusion. Time is just part of this realm's construct. So let's see what kind of time frame we're looking at as referring to this change. This is a significant change. Well, it's going to be on a rainy day. Today is rainy, so it's really about us. Hmm. Rainy day in January. Well, that's on the unique side, right? I don't know about anybody else. But rainy days in January do not necessarily happen very often, but it may be. And it doesn't mean it's the next January. It could be further out than that. But I hope this was helpful, and thank you for stopping by. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye.